Good afternoon and welcome to State NewsFile. I'm Simon Charret. Dustin Ans will have sports coming up, but first, let's check in with Erica Rolling with the weather.
Hey Simone, it's really nice outside today. I don't even have to wear a jacket. My mom would say that I should, but I'm not, so that's don't tell my mom. Anyways, it's 3 degrees and the high last year was -21. That's when we were in our gigantic deep freeze. We've already gone past that, so I'm really glad we're not in that. The coldest though, it's been -39 in 1895. That was chilly, and I wish we were at 16 right now, just like it was in 1987. I'll have more weather later on the show. Back to you guys.
Well, let's hope your mom is not watching us live. So Dawson, I heard the Raptors made history last night.
Yeah, they broke a franchise record last night, and it was by such a narrow margin. But we'll have more on that later in the show.
After weeks of delays, the charter flight evacuating Canadians for the epicenter of the coronavirus has finally landed in the Wuhan airport in China. The federal government has confirmed 211 people have been granted a seat, and as for the 162 others, they will have to wait to learn if the government will send another plane to rescue them. Before taking off, each passenger will be screened to limit the chances of further spreading the virus. The plane will land at the Canadian Force Base in Ontario, where they will be placed in the quarantine for 2 more weeks. Another boat is now in quarantine, this time in Hong Kong, after passengers have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. This is the second boat stuck at sea in Asia, the first one being in Japan, with 251 Canadians on board, 2 of them diagnosed with the disease. As of today, more than 28,000 people worldwide are diagnosed with the virus, including the doctor who sounded the alarm about the disease, who died a few hours ago. Calgary police are working with Quebec law enforcement in a human trafficking investigation after learning some victims are from the city. They say several Alberta women were physically forced to perform sexual acts. Throughout the investigation, 5 individuals have been arrested, and police in Quebec do not believe anyone else was involved. Calgary police are nonetheless asking the public for more information about the 5 suspects in custody to help bring forward more potential victims.
What we want to do is make sure that people know that it's not a small number, and people are supported by Calgary Police and by the other agencies to come forward if there's anyone else that's had interaction with these individuals.
CPS encourages anyone who feels they have been a victim of sexual assault to report it to the police. There are no time limit for how long a victim has to report a sexual assault in Canada. The future of Alberta's oil and gas sector is up in the air, and students in the energy program here at SAIT are wondering about the future. Austin Lee joins us live from the SAIT newsroom. Austin, it's been a difficult time for those looking for work in the oil and gas sector. How are the students at SAIT feeling about their future job prospects?
Well, Simone, as you might guess, a lot of the students here are a little bit worried about the province's oil and gas sector. But on the flip side, there might be some good news in store, regardless of how harsh this downturn has been.
It's no secret Alberta's energy sector is struggling. In the most recent blow to the province's top economic driver, Suncor Energy has reported a $2.3 billion loss for the 4th quarter of 2019. Some SAIT students are feeling uneasy about their future job prospects.
I definitely look around at some of my classmates, and you kind of feel bad because lots of them have good backgrounds and they're really, really exceptional candidates, but you're just kind of disappointed.
Others at the Polytechnic School are confident they'll be able to find employment. They just might have to leave their home province.
I'll move anywhere for work right now. I'm not too picky, just kind of got to get my foot in the door in the industry, so that'd be the best way to do it.
Despite the current gloomy outlook on the industry, there's still some hope for students in the petroleum engineering program planning on graduating this fall.
Most of the students that are in our program now realize that this is a good time to be at school and better times are ahead.
A major driver for the optimism surrounding the industry is the potential Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. The project is still far from completion, but would be a boon for those hopeful of finding employment straight out of school.
We're in a downturn, there's no question about it. We need a pipeline built in the ground, but I'm very optimistic about it. Alberta has the 3rd largest reserves in the world.
Alberta has the potential to get its energy sector back to the glory days. Students training to break into the industry are going to have to keep their fingers crossed that the province gets on track sooner rather than later.
A handful of companies have been forced to move their headquarters to the United States, and Calgary is certainly feeling the pressure of this economic slump. But just how long the downturn will last, well, that remains up in the air. Simone?
Austin Lee reporting live from the State Newsroom. More than 125,000 people have lost their job since the 2015 oil price crash. With the increase of e-commerce, there's so much talk about the death of brick-and-mortar businesses. As Chimizi Uguru reports, small businesses are forced to reinvent themselves in the face of the ever-changing economy.
Each year, we hear about the growing adoption of online sales, and as e-commerce continues to grow, there are talks of the death of brick and mortar. Are the naysayers actually right, or is this a misplaced opinion?
Bricks and mortar businesses have evolved significantly over the years, and I think they'll survive this pivot and this change and this evolution to something new.
For recent statistics, only 28% of small businesses are using the internet to sell their products. That means that majority of small businesses are missing out on the power of internet sales.
It's definitely making brick and mortar stores fewer and far between, but it still makes them necessary, I think. It's just made it tougher. You have to kind of develop a niche and a relationship with your customers.
As of the 2016 data, online sales only accounted for 8.1% of total retail sales in North America. However, sales are projected to grow with the coming years. What does this mean for brick and mortar stores?
I don't think that they're going to die, but a lot of people like to stay at home and shop. I do it a lot too on Amazon. We're looking at marketing some of our gold product online as well, because brick and mortar is pretty costly to establish and you don't necessarily get like a global market right away. So online certainly lets you do that a lot easier, which is nice. But I think everybody likes to see the physical product before they actually buy it.
As small businesses deal with the issue of cost, they also have to think about the changes that come with e-commerce and online competition. So far, the impact may not be massive, but the future will tell. For State NewsFile, I'm Chimizie Uguru.
Calgary police have charged a man for 13 criminal offenses, including 4 counts of drug trafficking, 1 count of fraud, and another one unauthorized possession of illegal firearms. 56-year-old Tu Wang Sung was arrested this morning after his Panorama Hills home was raided by city police. In total, they seized more than $500,000 worth of methamphetamine, cocaine, fentanyl, and illicit weapons, including 2 shotguns and 2 pistols. Sung is set to appear in court next week. Alberta inmates will be able to inject themselves with drugs because of the work of a new controversial needle exchange program starting next month. The program is not welcomed with open arms by correctional officers who claim it will put their safety at risk. Although drugs themselves remain illegal, inmates across the country rely on their ingenuity to gain access to them with drones. The program will be in effect on March 1st. An entire village in Saskatchewan has been evacuated after a second freight train has derailed in less than 2 months. Canadian Pacific has confirmed the train derailed at the same location the other one did at the end of last year. Investigators are on the scene trying to determine the cause of the train wreck. Last year's derailment sent 33 cars off the track, spilling more than 1 million liters of oil, sparking a massive fire. Environment experts say electric cars are the way toward a cleaner world and fewer carbon emissions. They may be, but we still have to be cautious with how the industry can be more environmentally friendly as well. Reynaldo Suarez has the facts.
All electric cars use lithium batteries to power them. But what happens when batteries die or need to be replaced? Around the world, only about 5% of lithium batteries are being recycled. It's more expensive to recycle than it is to mine for new materials. The remaining 95% of those discarded batteries can often end up in stockpiles or landfills that can leach toxic chemicals into the groundwater, or the batteries can explode if not handled properly. Currently in Canada, there isn't anywhere that you can recycle these lithium batteries, but in comparison, nearly 100% of lead batteries are recycled.
That's why there's such a two comparison. It's so much easier to recycle lead because we've been doing it for so long. You know, the battery, as I was mentioning, 99% from the plastics to the acid to the lead is recycled.
Facilities capable of disposing and recycling the lithium batteries are slowly starting to pop up around the world.
By 2025, Audi is looking to have 30% of its car line as electrified vehicles. Right now, our full electric is the e-tron that we have as a demonstrator.
With electric cars becoming so popular, we can expect to see a ton of new lithium batteries being produced. But these batteries aren't just used in cars. They can also be found in anything from phones to everyday appliances. Lithium batteries are now in such high demand that one Chinese company has cornered the market on global production of lithium and have exclusive access to half of the world's supply.
By 2040, nearly half of the vehicles on the road will be electric, meaning it's now a race between car manufacturers and themselves. If they truly want to make the world cleaner, they'll have to come up with a way to properly recycle lithium batteries. For SAIT NewsFile, I'm Reynaldo Suarez.
Calgary Police is asking the public for help to identify a man who performed lewd acts at the Southwest LRT station last December. Surveillance camera captured the exhibitionist at the Anderson station. He appears to be middle-aged and wore sunglasses, blue jeans, and a blue coat. If you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers on the number appearing on the screen. SAIT has been celebrating Pride all week long with events like Pride Flag Rising, Rainbow Hot Chocolate, and Pride in Pain for Pride. The events are held to support Pride and for the people to learn about the LGBTQ community. Kira Lenz has more.
It was a colorful afternoon at SAIT Stangrad Atrium. The room was filled with students ready to show their artsy side. There was a long table set up with many different colors of finger paint, and students' knowledge of the LGBTQ community was put to the test as well.
You know, if you want to choose a color, then you have to answer a question about the community. And that way you can learn in a fun way because you want to paint, right? So
questions like, what do the letters for LGBTQ stand for, and what is the difference between sex and gender were asked. And colors like pink and purple were given out. SAIT has been celebrating Pride all week long, and events like Paint with Pride help bring students together.
You know, even if they're not part of the LGBTQ community, when they attend stuff like this, it shows that they're an ally, and I think that makes people in the LGBTQ community feel seen and cared about.
Pride can mean different things for everyone. For some, it means being supportive, accepting all kinds of love, being proud of who you are, and overcoming some of the struggles that some LGBTQ people face.
Just by learning more about them, or just like asking questions, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know everything, but it's always nice to be educated, right?
Pride Week at SAIT may be nearing the end, but there are still places where students can receive support.
SAIT students can celebrate Pride every Thursday night from 5 to 7 in the Peer Support Center. For SAIT NewsFile, I'm Kiera Lentz.
Those are today's top stories. We'll have your full forecast for you after the break, but first, Erica Rowling has a look at what's going on Calgary this week.
Since it's Pride Week here at SAIT, in celebration, there will be RuPaul Drag Race trivia at the Gateway tonight. Bring your friends and try to win the top prize, a $75 Visa gift card. You must be 18 or older to attend. If coffee isn't your thing, the YYC Hot Chocolate Festival is underway around the city. With over 50 cafes, restaurants, and chocolatiers participating, you can sip on specialty hot drinks, all while donating $1 to $2 to Calgary's Meals on Wheels with every beverage purchase. The whole family will love you after taking them to the bonus Winterfest with carnival games, prizes, Zorb Ball bowling, bouncy castles, and much, much more. The Roughnecks are back in the Rough House for Saturday night. They take on the New York Riptide. Tickets are as low as $27, a perfect way to spend the night inside with the snowy weather. And the Calgary Boat and Outdoor Show is perfect for every outdoors man or woman. It's the biggest of its kind in southern Alberta. There's power sports, fishing, and even kids' activities all weekend long.
How does this dog look to you? Or this kitten? They're happy, and yet they're homeless, staying with another family until they find you. ARF has helped give over 2,500 animals forever homes. Why not be the net? Help us help them. You rescue, I rescue. ARF, caring for those in need.
Come and learn the breaking world of broadcast news. Find your passion to investigate, write, shoot, edit, and deliver the stories of the day. SAIT's broadcast news program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in radio and television. Become the next great anchor, reporter, or personality using industry standard technology alongside qualified instructors with years of experience. This is broadcast news. Come and dare to be on air.
So it's partly cloudy here today in Calgary. As you can see right behind me, there's clouds in the sky. It's really nice compared to the rest of Canada. And up north, I'm going home in a week or two. I'm really glad I'm not in that weather. Let's take a look. Let's jump right into the country. So here on the west coast, it's raining. They're really used to that. That's Vancouver for you. And then it's going to be precipitating throughout the entire country except here in southern Alberta. And I'm really happy that I'm here right now. It gets worse as you go to the east though, and in from the Great Lakes all the way up to St. John's. It's not good today. It's not good for the rest of the weekend. There's a snowfall warning, a severe storm, as well as ice and wind gusts. It's the whole deal for them. So from the Great Lakes up into Quebec, they're expecting up to 50 centimeters of snow. Absolutely crazy. I know they did something wrong, the East Coast here, and God is punishing them right now. And then in Halifax, it's going to be ice rain, a whole bunch of that, and the wind gusts will be going up to St. John's. Let's take a look at our resorts. Palm Springs is gorgeous today with full sun to get a tan. Barbados is scorching at 30 degrees. Cancun is where I want to be on the beach with a high of 29. It's not a great day for a swim in Honolulu, but Orlando is our hot spot at 31, and Sin City is bone dry, sunny and 19. In Calgary, I said it's the nicest here in southern Alberta of all of Canada, and you saw that. It's 3 degrees, partly cloudy, the wind isn't really doing much, and I didn't even have to wear a jacket today, but snow is coming our way for this weekend, so let's jump right into the province. Now, I FaceTimed my mom yesterday. It was really cold, it was snowing, and I told her to keep it, but we're going to be getting that later. So up in Grand Prairie, Fort Mac area, it's snowing all the way to around Red Deer, and then we get into the southern region here, and we're in the pluses. We got some sun for a couple of days, but that snow's coming, and I'll show you the 5-day forecast. Now, tonight it's going to be -6, and tomorrow it's going to be really nice with a high of 0 and sunny. That is completely going to change by tomorrow night, and all of Saturday it's going to be snowing, a high of -3. The snow will end by Sunday morning, early morning-ish, and if you want to do something on Saturday that takes you out of the snow, go to the Roughnecks game, and if you want to go outside on the nice and sunny days, you can hit up the slopes. And speaking of that, let's take a look at our ski report. Sunshine Village got 7 centimeters of snow last night, with an overall base of 165 centimeters on the mountain and sunny conditions. It's a great day to hit the slopes with all lifts and runs open. Lake Louise has a high of -5 today, a great day to break out the snow gear and hit up the slopes and maybe test your skills in the terrain park. On Saturday, there will be an 18+ neon theme event at 9:30. Tickets are only $20. Norquay will be mainly sunny today with all 6 lifts open and 57 out of 60 runs in full operation. If skiing isn't your jam, their tube park is open 7 days a week and on Friday and Saturday nights from 5 to 9. Panorama's got a base of 85 centimeters with every lift and run open. This will be the weekend you want to go before the reading week rush is taking over. And Fernie is machine groomed with 127 open runs and 9 lifts operating. If being speedy downhill isn't your cup of tea, try out their cross-country trails.
So welcome back. Dawson, I heard that Bianca Andreescu is no longer single.
It's true. I can't speak for a relationship, but in the game upcoming, she's going to be playing doubles and doubles only after a leg injury. We'll have more on that later in the show, though. With the trade deadline coming up, Calgary Flames defenseman Mark Giordano's injury might affect the Flames' plans moving forward. The race in the Pacific Division is heating up, and teams will be looking to gain ground in the playoff standings. Darren Bain joins us from the Scotiabank Saddledome to give us an update on the Flames for the rest of the season. Darren, is there an update on the Giordano injury?
Well, Dawson, there is good news and there's bad news. They haven't exactly said what the injury is. They've just named it as a lower body injury. The bad news is that he will be out for a week and he's on the injured reserve list right now. The good news is that the injury does not require surgery. With Giordano out of the lineup, Michael Stone will move into the lineup tonight against the Nashville Predators. Giordano's injury doesn't just affect the game tonight, but the Flames' plans for the rest of the season. With the trade deadline coming up and uncertainty surrounding the length of Giordano's recovery time, the Flames may need to make a move to bring in another top-four defenseman to fill the hole left by the Flames captain. Giordano has not missed a game due to injuries since he tore a tendon in February of 2015 and has logged 377 regular season games since then. 3 of the 5 games he has missed were for rest preceding the playoffs, and the remaining 2 were due to a suspension after kneeing another player in 2018. Regardless of what the Flames decide to do with their roster for the rest of the season, it's sure to be an exciting stretch of games. Dawson?
Thanks, Darren. Darren Bain reporting live from the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Toronto Raptors made history last night after a last-minute comeback against the Indiana Pacers set a franchise record. 12 consecutive game wins. We had a few highlights during the game, but there's no way I couldn't mention the scarf worn by Serge Ibaka and the follow-up we saw from OG Anunoby. The Raps were down by 8 with less than 2 minutes left on the clock, and that all started to change with a turn of momentum from Kyle Lowry, then some later follow-up from Pascal Siakam. Lowry managed to take 32 points that game as the point lead for the Raptors, and Ibaka wasn't far behind with 30. Ibaka put the team ahead in the final stretch of the game with a three-pointer at 30 seconds left on the clock. Pascal Siakam also had 25 points. Terrence Davis put up 11, and Fred VanVleet gave another 10 for Toronto. Malcolm Brogdon scored 24 points to the lead of the Pacers team, while Domantas Sabonis had 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. The Raptors eked out a win by 1 point. Toronto's will be in Indiana to face the Pacers again tomorrow. The St. Trojans men's and women's basketball teams will be on the court tomorrow night, hosting the Red Deer Kings. The men's team has been on a tear with a 4-game winning streak, including a win against the Lethbridge College Kodiaks last week. The Kodiaks are currently ranked first in the country. State's men's team is second overall in Southern Alberta, while the women's team is second last in the league with 1-7. Canadian tennis star Bianca Andreescu is still recovering from a left knee injury and will not be playing against Switzerland at the Fed Cup qualifier. Andreescu is scheduled to play doubles with Ottawa's Gabriela Dabrowski if the best-of-5 tie goes all the way. Canada becomes a heavy underdog without Andreescu playing in singles. Another World Cup is coming to Calgary, and this time it involves some of the world's fastest athletes, speed skaters. Vincent Lavoie went to the practice and talks about the future events to be held at the stadium.
Calgary not only holds a tradition of holding World Cups in moguls freestyle, it also holds an Olympic Games tradition of speed skating.
Let's just say that probably for the past 25 years, we've probably done, I would think about maybe 28 World Cups and probably 10 to 15 World Championships.
More than 100 athletes representing 19 countries will be part of the competition starting tomorrow. The Olympic Oval opened to the public in 1987 for the 1988 Winter Olympic Games.
The Calgary Olympic Oval is known worldwide for its ice of great quality, but since a majority of Calgarians refuse to see the Olympic Games in 2026, it will be more difficult to upgrade the Olympic Oval to make it last through time.
For the next 10 or 15 years, we're going to be okay to be able to continue on offering a top service to Calgarians in terms of our center. So that is a question, and that will need to be answered fairly soon. But for now, I think we're good.
Calgarians have become pretty savvy about speed skating since they are able to attend competitions almost every year.
It's always a really fun time for everyone across all the speed skaters internationally to come here, and it's always just lots of fun. It's a really great environment.
The competition will start tomorrow at 12:30, and 27 athletes will represent Canada. Because of the World Cup, public skating sessions are cancelled until February 10. Until then, people can still purchase tickets for the event and cheer for some of the successful Canadian athletes in the world. For State NewsFile, I'm Vincent Lavoie.
Canadians Kirsten Moore-Towers and Michael Marinero placed first in today's pairs short program to open the ISU Four Continents figure skating competition in Seoul, Korea. The duo hit a triple twist, throw triple loop, and side-by-side triple toe to the tune of Rihanna's Love on the Brain. The two finished ahead of the two Chinese couples, or in front of two Chinese couples, including the reigning world champions. Seniors from across the country are taking part in their version of the Olympic Games, proving when it comes to competition, age is just a number. The 11th annual All Seniors Games has been ongoing since Monday, featuring walking, bowling, billiards, and today's event, golf. The games are put on by the Seniors Care Company and runs throughout all 31 of their Canadian retirement homes. It's the most highly anticipated event of the year for some, and it comes with some perks too.
Everybody gets excited, yeah. If they're not participating, they're watching. So it's great for all of us. It gives us activities to do, and that's what we enjoy doing around here, not sitting in our rooms.
Each day, the event concludes with a medal ceremony and presentation running until tomorrow's closing ceremony. And that's a look at sports.
After the break, Ben Nestro will look at how craft spirits are made. Stay tuned.
Come and learn the fast-paced world of television production. Find your passion to write, shoot, edit, and direct news, sports, and dramatic productions. With industry-standard technology and the best instructors in the business, SAIT's television production program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in broadcasting. This is television production. Come and dare to be on air.
Beer drinkers in Calgary have been spoiled for choices in the recent years, with the huge influx of craft beer microbreweries opening around the city. However, if a tasty cocktail is more of your alley than a better IPA, the growing industry of craft spirits distilleries may be a tempting alternative. Ben Destrel tells us about how these distilleries operate.
Craft spirit distilleries in Calgary provide opportunity to sample an array of locally produced spirits, but part of the appeal is that these distilleries also allow patrons to take an inside look at how their favorite drinks are made.
We make gin, vodka, aquavit, and a couple other specialty products, but we're mostly a gin distiller.
While most local distilleries are producing their own take on massively popular spirits like gin and vodka, Skunkworks Distillery, which recently opened in November of 2019, has decided to distill only moonshine, a spirit that may intimidate even the most seasoned of drinkers.
People, they're a little bit scared. They don't know what it's about. And that's fair enough, because moonshine could mean anything. You know, it means homebrew. So, you know, I've had some bad moonshine from like my dad's great uncle or whatever, pass that down, and it was terrible and nasty. Whereas, you know, there's some other stuff that's just fantastic and smooth, and that's what kind of attracted us to it. It's like, it's mysterious, but we make a good product, and so when people come in, they're a little bit afraid, but then it's fun to see them being converted into loving what we do.
While creating delicious beverages are at the core of what these distillers do, they also believe that the community aspect of their business attracts customers.
They can come in and see the process, they know what we're doing, but also, like I mentioned before, there's a little bit of mystery too for what we're doing in particular, so they get to learn about it, and that's, you know, it's fun to learn, and it's fun to drink too.
So this has been SAIT NewsFile. I'm Simon Charret, joined by Dawson Enns and Erica Rowling with the weather. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back on next week.